Let me begin with you, Funmi. Just yesterday, some resolutions were reached, like we rightly pointed out, the federal government committing to a wage that is over 60,000 naira, because the grounds was that, one of the grounds at the time was that we cannot accept 60,000 naira with the current realities on the ground. And even the government gave 14 reasons why it went for 60,000 naira. But right now it's saying, okay, we'll push it forward, although we do not know exactly the amount. The next is that they are going to be having meetings for the next 1 week until they arrive at an agreeable sum that reflects the current realities. If it's going to be a living wage, we do not know yet. And then we also know that the president is saying no worker would be victimized. From all of these agreements, what stands out for you, and what does this say from both sides, the commitment to reaching an agreement?
Yes, I think it is clear that both sides are ready to resolve the issues amicably. And that's why they have to go to back to the negotiating table. Let me make the point that no labor issue or dispute is resolved with a strike or lockout. You must end it on the collective bargaining table. Now, we should not forget that these are social partners. The ILO calls it social partners, and therefore there must be social engagement. From the agreement of yesterday, I see it as an agreement towards an agreement. Definitely, it's clear that government wants to shift ground, pay more. Labor is ready to listen. However, I hope we also do know that in negotiation, the trade unions have rights, the employers have rights.
Absolutely.
And we keep forgetting that it's not only the federal government that is the employer in this situation.
There's the organized
you have the organized private sector. That's why it's called a tripartite meeting. Private employers, federal government, and organized labor. I think my concern about this thing is that there seems to be a misconception about what is national minimum wage and the wage review.
Right.
And with this, I stand with NECA's position. What we are negotiating, or what they are negotiating as social partners, is a basic national minimum wage backed by law. It is not a total wage review. A total wage review comes in when there are sectorial collective bargaining. In other words, what am I saying? For instance, in a shoe factory, okay, let's take a multinational company that is a member of NECA. Now, once you sign into law the basic minimum wage, it is basic. It is not total package. Now, it becomes law. It means no employer should pay below that. But it does not stop sectorial collective bargaining, which is the food and beverage sector will have its own. Even in the public service, there is what is called the Joint Public Sector Negotiating Council. Okay? And that should continue. You understand? So there's a misconception on both sides. When you begin to calculate housing, transport, and all, that's not basic minimum wage. And basic minimum wage is meant to protect vulnerable workers. It is a form of social protection. Please don't forget that the basic minimum wage law exempts some people, because I've been hearing all sorts of arguments, people talking. If you employ fewer than 25 persons, you are exempted from paying the national minimum wage. Workers in agric, contract workers, part-time workers, they are exempted from
whatever agreement is reached.
Exactly, from the law. It's stated there. I can read it. I can read it if you want. It's here. So they are exempted. Before now, when the law was first enacted, and I did this covering for over 25 years of my life in journalism, it was first 50 workers. If you had 50 workers and below, you were exempted. But labor moved forward. They fought the battle and won and got it reduced to 25. So it does not mean that every shop owner, if you are running a calf shop and you have 2 employees, you must pay me. No. there are exemptions to the law. And so we should also not forget that this basic minimum wage is basic. It is not total review. It is not meant for a person who is earning over $1 million to come and say, you are not earning basic. And in all honesty, at a time, I mean, in the federal civil service, there's nobody that is earning, I'm talking of federal, I'm not talking of states now. Yeah. There is nobody that is earning 30,000. That is the truth. Because other allowances come in and beef it up. Yeah. And that makes it far higher than 30,000. Same in organized private sector. And please mark my word, organized private sector.
Interesting. Let's get your perspective now to this agreement reached by government. What direction are you seeing moving forward from this one now? Because she mentioned something that for her, this is an agreement to an agreement that will be reached later on. So what are you seeing?
Oh, thank you very much. I think for me, I have a different perspective to everything, right from Labour, the federal government. And it's my personal view that Labour is not even leading us in the right direction.
Okay.
Maybe because I'm in the organized private sector.
Right.
With this issue of increasing wages here and there. We've had opportunity to travel out of this country several times. And you bear this with me to say that if somebody is paying for rent in US, you only pay about $1,500, $1,300, $2,000 possibly a month. Have you ever heard somebody telling you that he's paying about $8 million per annum there? The answer is no. So for us, as an employer of labor, the NLC are not getting it right. It is not agitating for increase in wages that we need. I put myself in the position of
what do we need first of all?
If I need to pick what Madam Funmi said, having a minimum of 25 staff, then you are signing into that law as an organized private sector, which means that someone like us are in that net. Before now that you said 30,000 is the basic, some of us, most organized private sector, are not paying that. So by the time you improve it to 60,000, how do you want them to survive? A sector that you have naturally killed practically with everything on the high side. Taxes on the other side. Electricity on the other side. They don't have the basic infrastructure to grow the system. I ask you this question. Before now, we used to have the less privileged, the middle class, and the elites. Do we have the middle class as we speak? We have suddenly moved from the poor to another grammar we now call vulnerable, to less vulnerable, which we were not hearing before. We used to hear the poor, then the middle class, and the elite. These are basic problems people like me is expecting Labour to challenge. We all heard when this president came on board that we are going to see the operation of Port Harcourt refinery come to mainstream in December. Here we are in June. Labour is not asking questions. The fundamental problem we are faced today is the 3 words from the president. Subsidy is gone. We all supported it because we felt that few people are actually enjoying some of this benefit. But that has actually metamorphosed into increasing practically everything. And I have this to tell you. The market woman on the street does not know that you don't work for the government.
Right.
As a matter of fact, by the time you benchmark this minimum wage to 60 or 60 and above, the bread you bought yesterday at 1,005, by the time they agree, we automatically increase. You know the way it goes. And that's why some of us have said, rather than asking for minimum wage, can we engage the government from the perspective of making the business environment more meaningful? We know the level at which dollar was before this administration came in. Many of the businesses, multinationals, are leaving the shore of the country. Right. Can we come out and say that? See, I want to have a situation where you say somebody is earning 30,000 and is living like king.
So cost of living is what
is fundamental. We should be looking at those areas to make businesses more. By the time you increase this thing to 60,000, Vero, I can tell you, most of the organized private sector were retrenched because a lot of things are impacting on their operation.
Right.
A lot of them were excused from this country as they have been living
and
before.
that is what Labour is not considering.
As far as I'm concerned, and you will listen to the Minister of Labour,
right.
She said the 4 of them are going to work. But I know that the organized private sector, looking at this perspective that we are talking about, will not be in support of it, because as we speak, even those that are surviving still nakedly. I can put this organization.
Okay, before I come to you to react to what he has said, we need to quickly cross over to our reporter who is at the Murtala Mohammed Airport 2 to bring us up to speed with developments there. Recall that yesterday passengers were stranded at various airports across the country as a result of day 1 of the strike. What is the situation now, Ayo?
Yes, cool down, watch TV. Then when they announce your flight, 200 naira, you are back here and you are flying.
Thank you very much. I can tell you this morning, I've been at the international wing of the Murtala Mohammed Airport, and the place is wide open for passengers to travel. The report we got yesterday was that Labour is going to picket the international wing of the airport today, because the international wing was opened yesterday as well, even though the local wing was shut down. But today also, the international wing was open because the Labour union leaders that I met on ground said they are looking at it that it will not be too fair to shut down both local and international airports. But getting to the local airport, as you can see from behind me, of course, this place is shut down. This is the MM2. It's been shut down. They have addressed passengers, telling them that they should please sympathize, they should please understand the situation, because majority of people that came here yesterday that wanted to fly also came back today. Some of them have their flight today, but of course they cannot travel, and they are saying that probably at the end, maybe if there are if negotiations go according to plan, they will call off. But for now, they are maintaining status quo at the local airports, and they are saying they are not backing down until an agreement is reached with the federal government.